Already on it. Okay, so the first way to create terrains here we'll show is the from elements. Here in this example, I have my corridor I've already built. Here's the 3D on the right and the plan view on the left. So to do from elements, there's the from elements button here. This is through the modeling workflow and the terrain tab. So the from elements, I can create a proposed surface from this corridor. I can also do it without having to, as you may have feared, from clicking on all the elements. So I can click on the handles for the actual corridor itself. As you can see, I have it selected here. I can go from elements. This will create this little box here with some additional options. So it'll ask for the feature type. We'll have a whole bunch of different options here. We'll go through some of these throughout today. The most common one we'll use is brake lines. So all those features inside the corridor will be considered brake lines, which is perfect. That's how we want it to build this. It'll ask for an edge method. This is how ORD can kind of guess what your boundary is. We can just let it triangulate as it wants. Remove slivers, which will get rid of any of the really thin triangles as it draws, and a max triangle length, which we can set. So we can also switch these after we've built the terrain. Typically, I'll usually start with remove slivers, see how it goes, and then we can work on adding a boundary later. And then the feature definitions as well. I'll just leave that blank for now. It'll show up just as default, but that's some of the workspace issues. Typically, you should be able to assign a feature definition that makes sense here. So I've already selected my corridor. So I can now follow the prompts. Data point to add one selected element. I'll click here. Now it'll flip through these options, which I've already selected. Brake line, remove the slivers. Give it a second. And now it should have created a terrain here. Let me make sure I have the right things displayed. So now, if I turn on the right level here, we've seen it can draw all these triangles. And now we have a proposed surface in here. There's some other stuff down here we'll look at later, but let me turn off the corridor. You can see we now have a proposed surface here. If we go rotate around a bit, we can see it's drawn our retaining walls like we wanted it to. There's a little sound wall up top there. There's some triangulation mess that's gone on here. Some of that might be because of the slivers. So we'll show some tools later in today that how we can clean those areas up, add boundaries, and tighten that up. But this now, we've created a proposed surface out of the corridor. And it's pretty simple there with the elements tool. This is not just triangles dropped here in our 3D view. This is still connected to the actual corridors. So if I change elements in the actual corridor DGN, it will reflect here. There are ways to break that connection. If we do something crazy like change the template, change some of our components, we'll have to redo that step. But in general, this is kind of the quick and easy way to create a surface from elements using your corridor. So we can end this recording here.